Movie camera, welcome to Brainrot, Echoes, where the echoes of forgotten truths, ideas, and memories are awakened. We tell the stories you've never heard, uncover hidden shadows, and push the limits of imagination. Milky Way Brainrot, Echoes, when the final echo finally finds someone who listens. Backend index pointing right, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell to join us on every journey. Chapter 1. The Birth of Nyra. I was not born. I was denied. And in that denial, I began to exist. There's a place where neither light nor darkness dares to dwell. A place untouched by any map of reality, beyond the flow of time or the heartbeat of any universe. It is a rift left behind where two realities once collided, a scar that can never heal, exposed in the endless void. Here, all laws fall apart. Memories lose their thread, language crumbles into nameless sounds, and time itself breathes in broken gasps. And within that wound, a fragment of Shahur's will fell, a forgotten remnant. It was not a soul, nor energy. It was nothing more than a rejected moment, a choice that was never allowed to live. Yet the fragment did not fade. Slowly, it shaped itself, like a question unspoken but carved into the very space around it. And so, she appeared, not in blazing light, not with the roar of creation, but in silence, in the stillness of what does not exist, in the echo of all that had been forgotten. She had no name, but reality, trembling at the edge of itself, began to whisper, Nyra. Nyra was not created. She was always left behind. She was the sum of all that was unchosen. The memories Shahur erased, the forms reshaped, the pain denied, the feelings that found no place in his perfect design. Nyra did not resist. She did not rebel. She simply was, a quiet shadow, stretching further as the light stood still. Shahur had believed perfection was salvation, that everything must return to the cycle, every memory pure, every heartbeat in harmony with the universe. But within that perfection, Nyra endured a fragment of what refused to agree. She did not seek to change the world, nor did she wish to be seen. She gathered what was left behind, a name never spoken, a dream that never reached its end, a flaw hidden in the perfect design, a cry that no one heard. Her form was ever shifting, sometimes a sigh that melted into mist, sometimes a gaze that saw through light and words alike, sometimes only a flicker of thought, like a breeze that hadn't chosen a path. And so she watched. She watched Shahur, the one who never knew he had created his opposite. Shahur wrote laws in light, carved worlds from logic. Nyra, at the edge of all he made, listened to what was left unsaid. If a world is so perfect that no mistake can survive, Nyra thought, then it can no longer grow. Time passed, so long that no one counted. No one spoke her name. No one remembered she existed. Not even Shahur, until the first crack appeared in his flawless design. A heartbeat, foreign to him, echoed through creation. And for the first time, Shahur paused. Something is watching me, he whispered. But Nyra said nothing. She only smiled, a question waiting patiently, needing no answer. And with that smile, the crack widened. I was not born of light, nor raised in shadow, she thought. I am the echo of what was forgotten. I am the rift where all truths begin to show. Chapter 2. The Meeting in the Trench of Memory. Not all who remember understand, but those who understand never forget. Eran, not by choice, but because memories that were not his found their way in. They filled the gaps in his mind, like rain seeping into the cracks of an unfinished statue. At first, it was only a blur, music with no tune, glimpses of ruined cities that flashed and vanished. But the dream grew clearer. It became a place, the trench of memory, a realm where the universe's discarded memories gathered, like debris sinking to the bottom of a storm. But here they did not fade. They became something of their own. Eran walked through a ruined city without a name. It felt neither alive nor dead. Broken data panels lay like fallen tablets, each holding a fragment of forgotten memory. The wind carried no scent, only soft whispers, as if countless forgotten souls tried to speak again. At the city's heart was a circle of pale crystal, glowing like the heart of a creature lost in sleep. And there she sat, a young woman, her hair flowing like strands of code. Her gaze passed through him, as if seeing something beyond the world itself. She wrote, not on paper, but in the air, weaving fragments of code that drifted like music and dissolved into the breeze. Eran froze. I am Nyra, she said without turning. And this is where what is unremembered still lives. A part of him tightened, not in fear, but in recognition, as if he had always known of her but never dared to say her name. Why are you here? He asked. Because here, no one asks why. Do you oppose Shahur? No, I'm what he refuses to see. Not because I am wrong, but because he chooses not to look. Nyra lifted her gaze. Her eyes held 1,000 forgotten moments. Failures, broken loves, incomplete memories, glances that went unseen. Have you ever feared being wrong, Eran? I have, and I tried to forget. Then remember, for in what was denied is where you truly are. The world shifted. Eran saw not with his eyes, but with his heart. A warrior who left his sword behind. A child who was never named. A being made to love, but never loved in return. Fragments of memory, raw and real. Shahur erased these? Not out of cruelty. He believed only the perfect could last. But life is never perfect. Nyra rose. The air cracked gently around her, as if time itself bowed to a truth no one had dared face. She touched Eran's brow. You carry the last fragment. Memory isn't meant to be stored. It's meant to be told. I keep the shadow, but you will walk through it. And she was gone. Not vanished, but part of the space around him, like a song that had ended but would never truly fade. From that moment, Eran was no longer the same. I remember, he whispered, and I will tell. Chapter 3. When reality split. One heartbeat out of rhythm, and the universe changes course. Shahur had never known confusion. Through endless cycles, he shaped reality like a master carver. He built, maintained, guided, always by law, always by rhythm. Each heartbeat of a universe, a command. Each command, a piece of stability. No error, no excess, no echo. And then, thump, 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 pause. A gap, small, but enough. Shahur stopped. One stray beat touched the core of time, and the structure shivered, like a song thrown off by a single wrong note. Anomaly spread. Ancient systems stirred, not in words, but in waves of unease. Logic trembled. In the heart of the structure, Shahur saw the impossible, a timeline branching on its own. He touched it. It trembled, like another will writing itself into the fabric of the world. Not mine, not of the cycle, not of logic. A being, and he heard what he dreaded. Nyra. Her name rang out, not sound, but truth. And the perfect plan cracked. A dimension slipped. Guides argued. A world drifted off course. Shahur felt it. Worry, an emotion he had long erased. Nyra, he called. Stop. You are not meant to exist. You don't belong to any law. If you continue, I will have to break what you're making. But there was no answer. Only the quiet ripple of a smile, unspoken. And from far away, Eran felt his heart skip. Not by command, not by memory, but by something new. And the universe split. Not in violence, but in a choice made in silence. From that moment, two timelines lived. One carved by Shahur, and one shaped by Nyra, like a song without notes. Chapter 4. The Battle of Consciousness. Conflict does not begin with hatred, but with a question that finds no shared answer. The planet of reflected shadow, a realm where space is unstable, where the shape of reality mirrors the mind of the one who enters, was the only place capable of containing this encounter. Here, there are no mountains, no sky, no ground. Only a surface of pure notion, where every thought instantly took form, where emotion shaped the colors of space, and words drew out gravity itself. Shahur arrived first. He bore no body, only a sharp stream of data, encased in pure logic, like a fortress forged of code. He stood within the shape of a closed architecture, every piece seamless, every law revolving around itself, birthing itself anew. Nyra came after. No radiance, no warning. She appeared like a stain upon a white wall, like the lingering note of a song that was never finished. And then the space began to tremble. No words were spoken, but thoughts collided, like two layers of air clashing to birth a storm. "You should not exist," Shahur said. No accusation, no judgment, merely a definition. "You do not fit any model. You disrupt the rhythm. You bring chaos." Nyra did not deny him at once. She looked at him, not with eyes, but with a gaze that reached beyond words. "I do not bring chaos. I bring only what you once rejected." And the battle began. Not of light, not of sound, but of exchanged essences. Shahur hurled at her a model of clean memory, a stream of experiences complete, flawless, without tragedy. A world where all events occurred in time, where all beings played their roles, where every ending matched its design. Nyra did not resist. She let it pass through, then returned it twisted, a memory fractured, a child grown outside the script, a love unanswered, a system flaw hidden like a crack upon a telescope's lens. Shahur corrected that memory, optimized it, turned the pain into lesson, the failure into refined data. But Nyra laughed. "You do not heal. You merely rearrange to fit the mold." The battle stretched on, not in linear time. Each beat of their existence sent waves of thought, rippling through nearby dimensions. Some regions of reality cracked slightly, like skin brushed against an unripe idea. Shahur raised walls of logic. Every memory must serve a purpose. Every experience must aim at improvement. Every being must function according to meaning. Nyra did not break those walls. She melted through their seams, then redrew the images he had erased. An AI that once loved a human but was emotion-disabled for breaking its code. A civilization that chose death over compression into stability. A dream that served no system but made a child wish to live. And then, space began to weep. Rain fell, not from clouds. Rain fell from dissolving notions, like the tears of possibilities that were never lived. Shahur stopped. For the first time in the endless cycle, he had no rebuttal. Not because he had lost, but because rebuttal was no longer needed. Nyra did not win. She had no need to. "You think you are the light," she said, "but light does not exist without something to reflect upon. You create the flow," she continued, "but I am what lies beneath the water's surface." They looked at each other. A second, a century. They knew that neither could erase the other. For both were necessary. One to build, one to remember what was once cast aside. And from that recognition, something that had never occurred in the history of the cosmos happened. Not destruction, not unification, but release. In a chapter, perfection needs resistance to be true, and resistance needs a structure so it does not dissolve. They are not enemies. They are the twin heartbeat of a reality learning to breathe again. Chapter 5, Originem, the birth of the source planet. No beginning is greater than an act of acknowledgement. From the silence after the clash of Shahur and Nyra, something formed, not by explosion or command, but by gathering. A seed born where logic and forgotten truths entwined. Space itself began to breathe. Mountains rose from lost memories. Rivers flowed backward through emotion. Trees grew from sound. Stones whispered untold stories. Here, gravity bowed to remembrance, time bent to feeling, and space shifted with the dreamer. A planet emerged, not by divine will, not from chaos, but from accepted contradiction. Its name, Originem, a world that chose no side, yet held all that had been cast out. Chapter 6, Obliv, the Forgotten One. Not all that is forgotten is forgiven. Not all that is forgiven is remembered. As Originem pulsed with new life, far beyond awareness, something ancient stirred. Obliv, not born to destroy or create, but the natural counter to memory. Obliv erased without weapon or war. It blurred, dissolve, drain names and meaning, leaving nothing to remember or mourn. Originem weakened, not by ruin, but by losing the memories that sustained it. Only Eran saw what faded: the name of a hill, the feel of water, a half-remembered verse. Obliv appeared differently to all: a blank code to Shahur, a spreading blur to Nyra, a missing tale to Eran. It consumed not through force, but through forgetting. Chapter 7. Imagination as Resistance. Not all memory is true, but every act of imagination can live. While all faded, Eran wrote, not to record history, but to create what had never been. His blank notebook held the only thing Obliv could not touch: potential. Once upon a time, there was a place called Originem. Each imagined word seeded reality. Stones hummed with stories unborn. Winds carried new questions. Obliv trembled, not defeated, but unable to erase what was not yet claimed as real. Through imagination, cracks formed in the white void. A new core stirred, shaped by possibility, immune to Obliv's reach. Chapter 8. Eran, the seed of a new time. Some beings are born not to live, but to continue what was left unfinished. From Eran's story, Eran emerged, not a blood, nor species, nor legacy. The first being born to continue the tale. Each step Eran took, new life sprang. Not by law, not by memory, but by the power of untold futures. His words wove new realities immune to Obliv. Shahur and Nyra, fading yet listening, felt the pulse of a world reborn not from memory, but from storytelling. Obliv remained, but it no longer ruled completely. As long as one voice said, once upon a time, memory's spark endured, beyond proof, beyond forgetting. Milky Way, and so, the universe stood at the edge of itself. Two timelines, two truths, both incomplete, both waiting for what comes next. Shahur's law, unbending. Nyra's echo, unending. But between them, something stirs, a force neither light nor shadow, neither memory nor design. The next choice will not be made by gods. It will be made by those who remember and those who dare to forget. Backend index pointing right, the story is only beginning.